Mark Wahlberg stars in The Gambler, opens nationwide on Christmas Day. Last time he was on, he broke news that he was going to be the $6 billion man. Growing up, it was the $6 million man, but he went into the billions there. The $6 billion man, Patriots apologist, Red Sox apologist. He's Mark Wahlberg back on the show. You got news you want to break today?
Yes, I want to publicly apologize to Pete Berg for blindsiding him on your show. I know he's still mad at me. I'm actually trying to text him right now to see if he's in the L.A. area so I can invite him over to apologize in person because he wasn't prepared for that.
You stunned him. You were Mark from Louisiana, and you start talking about a fight on an airplane with Mark Wahlberg and Peter Berg, and he was listening to you for a little while, and then all of a sudden he didn't want to listen anymore.
I know, and I felt bad because here he is going out there talking about his project, and he does so many great things, and all of a sudden he's getting blindsided by this, and he's like, he had a good poker face, but I could tell he was not happy. I was like, oh, God, I pushed it a little too far. But it was so funny because I'm sitting in my hotel room, so somebody calls and says, hey, can you call in Pete's on the air? And your face was already on my TV. So I'm watching, and then he's over there, he's playing pool or ping pong with one of the guys, and I'm like, oh, God. So I'm like, oh, God, I got this guy. And then I just start,
You killed him.
And then I realized I just went a little too far.
So you're doing the $6 billion man?
Yes, hopefully with Pete.
If he returns your call, you're in for it. You're in for the $6 billion.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've already committed. We've got a writer working on it now. We've got a great take on it, and I'm hoping that Pete directs it. We want to make it something that's really grounded and real, but also you think about, wow, if you could have these amazing powers, what would you want to be able to do? And sitting in a room with a writer saying, would you like to be able to jump 20 feet, dunk a basketball, and all these things, and you just start giggling like a little kid. Being able to jump and run and,
How's your Patriots morale?
You know what? It took 10 years off my life yesterday.
Well, it's the Jets. It's always a close game. It's always ugly.
I know. Believe me, it's the one game I was dreading over the last 5 weeks. Even the Green Bay game, I was like, okay, if we lose this game, it's okay. I know the Broncos are going to lose another game. Thankfully, the Bills did our dirty work on to revenge the Packers' loss. But I was thinking, this is going to be the dogfight. And then that interception from Brady, it was like, oh. But you know what? I think the Bengals are going to give the Broncos all they can handle tonight, even though they don't do good in big game situations.
No, they don't. Serious question: could you outbench Gronkowski?
You know what? No, he was at my house. I could bench probably 335 for one, and he took 315 and benched it probably 10 times like it was a loaf of Wonder Bread. Even his brother Dan, who was working out with us when we were doing Pain and Gain, and I was probably at my strongest. I probably put up 350. He was throwing it up like it was air. He's a big boy.
How about Brady? Has he been to the new crib?
No, he hasn't. I don't think I'll see Tom other than, when we shot with Ted 2, which was amazing. Yeah, I just saw the trailer. It's so funny, and he's so great in the movie. He's got a big summer coming up with Entourage, the movie, and Ted 2. But I probably won't see him until after. Maybe we'll go play some golf if he comes back out to the West Coast.
Before I get to The Gambler, how would you feel if you had a movie that wasn't going to be released? The interview with Sony.
It's one of those things where you put your heart and your soul into a movie, but at the end of the day, it's the studio's investment, and I've had movies where I put my heart and soul into the movie, and they end up releasing the movie in 200 theaters like an art house movie. It's their money, it's their choice. At the end of the day, when you make a movie that you're proud of, obviously you want as many people to see it as possible. But it's up to them. It's out of your hands. Once you make the movie, it's out of your hands.
What's the most money you ever gambled? Bet on a game?
I don't really gamble that much, although I did in preparing for the movie. I was in Hong Kong. I went to Macau, and we started playing blackjack. But I was with two very wealthy businessmen from Hong Kong, and I asked them both for all the cash they had, and then I went and turned it all in for chips. I hit blackjack. I got an ace. I got another ace. Split them. Got a third ace, and then I proceeded to get king, queen, jack. Okay, all red cards on the face cards, and all Ace of spades, ace of clubs, ace of spades. And I was with an owner of a casino, and he said in 40 years of gaming, he's never seen that hand. Won probably $60,000, went over to the roulette table, put it all on black, and lost it within 30 seconds. And I left with the biggest smile you've ever seen. And if when you see the movie, you will realize why, because something similar happens in the movie, in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, now, why can't you
This
come
is
up
the guy
with
who likes to lose.
a better name than Jim Bennett?
You know, it was weird because my name in TED is John Bennett, and I pointed that out. Even as the producer, I couldn't get them to change it, but easy for me to remember.
Yeah, that's true. So this comes out Christmas Day?
Yes.
And there's some evil in there. John Goodman looks evil.
John Goodman plays one of the great gangsters. You know, Bill Monahan, who wrote The Departed, writes the great characters of all time in dialogue. So you've got him, you've got Michael Kenneth Williams, who played Chalky White on Boardwalk Empire, was on The Wire, one of the great characters.
Oh, yeah. He's Omar.
So we're involved with the most dangerous gangsters and criminals in L.A., my character. And he doesn't care how much he owes them. He just keeps going deeper and deeper into debt. And they've never come across the likes of a guy like this because he doesn't care. He comes from wealth and privilege, and he wants to strip himself of all of it. He doesn't care. They beat him. They do whatever they want. And he's like, what are we going to do? How are we going to get my money? He's like, give me more. And I'm like, what? They've never seen anything like this guy. And then he's got to figure out, because he falls in love with a student of his, how do I now use these guys against each other to get out? And it's pretty awesome. It's very intense. It's not like most gambling movies don't work, and they're pretty boring. This movie is a nail-biter.
When's Ted 2 come out?
Ted 2 comes out in June, right after the Entourage movie.
Nice. But this is like Godfather 2. It's a little deeper, more introspective, flashbacks. Is that what Ted 2 is?
Character study. Yes.
Merry Christmas, as we like to say in my family, and good luck with the movie.
Thank you, buddy. Happy holidays.
No.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's Merry Christmas, Mark. Mark, it's Merry Christmas.
Okay, Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Mark Wahlberg.